what is going on with Brand New Day? And I say that because I'm talking about Hulk. Hulk is green or is he gray? We're all trying to figure it out. So the biggest thing was we all thought green, right? Everything was green. First of all, we were excited that we got ourselves Hulk in a Spider-Man movie. Hulk we can't get enough of because Hulk can't get his own movie. I've gone over this on a video before. It sucks. It's sad. It's not fair, but that's kind of the way it goes right now. The trailer for Brand New Day gave us him green, and everyone was like, okay, he's gonna be green. Everyone thought for a second for gray. I don't know where that came from, where the thing came with gray. I would have thought if they're doing the whole mind control thing, that Scarlet Witch would have made him turn gray or something. Anyone familiar with Grey Hulk? Grey Hulk normally is affiliated with Mr. Fix-It. Mr. Fix-It's awesome. Bouncer dude works in Vegas. It's Bruce Banner, but not. It's really weird. There is a cool run I liked with Wolverine in the beginning of his series with him and Grey Hulk, but there are times like when Grey Hulk and the Green Hulk are fighting over Bruce's mind before he became Professor Hulk, which we call now Smart Hulk, or Professor Hulk. He looked like Green Hulk. They didn't make him look any different. Grey Hulk was just big, he was strong, but technically when he turns gray, he's supposed to be a little bit weaker but more intelligent. So you get more of the it's kind of like what Ruffalo said, the brains and the brawn together, but that one is more different. You get more of the brains and less brawn with the Grey Hulk, especially as when he's Mr. Fix-It. But there are a lot of cool comics that deal with it. There's even comics that deal with him in green, dressed up as Mr. Fix-It, kind of, where he's a mob boss. I think he went against a guy named Frost. I would look that up if I were you. Look up with him and Frost. Is pretty cool. You think Frost is really strong, but you realize he's just this big buff dude, but he could freeze Hulk's hand, and that's what he did, and everyone thought, oh, he's like super strong, and this is how he's strong as Hulk, but it was just all gimmick. But the problem is, people are going to be upset if we got that Grey Hulk. If we got that Grey Hulk where he's Mr. Fix-It, I guarantee you, everyone for years and years and years wants back Avengers Hulk. I love Ragnarok Hulk. Everyone else doesn't for some reason. I think he's the perfect mesh for Hulk. Able to talk and not grunt and to be a just straight monster. I think the best Hulks we've ever had in comics, in movies, cartoons, is a Hulk that can communicate at least somewhat. And it's not totally like dumb like Hulk like this, like I get it, like puny human, it's funny, but Hulk to me is a little bit bigger than that. He's a bigger character than just a monster. He does have the inner struggle of becoming a monster, but he's able to communicate and help the Avengers and do what he's got to do. And clearly in Avengers they showed him that, Cap tells him Hulk smash, and he knows what he's got to do. So he's not like he doesn't hear things and stuff like that. When they make him like the big dumb Hulk, he just roars and doesn't listen and all that. And that's, people are going to be upset if they went that Grey Hulk route. But there are times, again, when he was Grey Hulk, especially like I think when McFarlane was drawing him for a minute, he I think they just did the whole gray thing where he used to be like at night he would turn to the Grey Hulk, something like that weird. I don't know where the story came from or how they fitted it into the comic book stories of why Grey Hulk came and why he turned into it at night or anything like that. I can tell you that his first comic he was gray, but I think it had to do something with the printer ink or something. I don't know if he was supposed to be green and it turned gray, or he was always gray and then the next ones turned out green. But I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be green and it turned up gray. So Hulk, like famously, I think he's like in gray with the orange ripped shirt to my idea. But yeah, so again, everyone's now going back and forth, are we going to get Grey Hulk? Are we going to get Grey Hulk? They're excited. They want to see it. I don't know why everyone wants to see it so bad. I think it's just cool. It is a cool look. In the Ultimates comics, he was great, I think, all the time. I can't remember. I read the beginning first volumes or so, then it got really weird. But he was great in that. That worked really well. That one was really, they made it work in real life. It was like a real life Avengers. That's what I really thought Avengers was going to come out. It was going to be the Ultimates, which was kind of exciting at times, where I thought it was going to be like the Ultimates. And there's some things I didn't like because they all were kind of jerks to each other and stuff. I don't know. But I'm glad we got what we got. So they did focus a lot on gray, and the weird thing is Sony put out a promo, and I think it was Sony, not Marvel. Sony put out a promo, and it was a gif of that scene in the trailer where the building's collapsing and he is gray in the trailer, and people were going nuts over it. It literally was up for a couple minutes and it got yanked down. So for me, I'm like, okay, does that mean that we're getting a Grey Hulk and they've been hiding it and they're changing the colors on it? what are they doing? Like, I don't get it. And why hide it? I mean, it's a cool surprise, but why hide it? Also, in this visual I got, it's from Japan, I think. He uses some kind of shocker-like glove to fight Hulk, which is interesting. So that might be a little bit of a spoiler there. But yeah, so I don't know what people want really, because like it's cool to see him as Gray just because the vibe and the look of him, his aura will look cool. But I would rather keep Gray associated with a different personality. Like if they did Smart Hulk, make him Gray, that would have been more interesting to me. To you use the color, but again, people would have got mad and said, "Oh, I hate Smart Hulk and I hate that they made him Gray." To me, it just would have made more sense. If you're going to make him a different color, make him act differently, because that's what the whole point was in the comic. He, like I said, he got more brawn, less brawn, more brains as the Gray Hulk. But if we got Mr. Fix-It, people would not like it one bit, especially casual moviegoers that know the Green Hulk monster. They would not like this bouncer dude that walks around and thinks he's a badass. I don't know. It's weird. Mr. Fix is weird. I like him, but he's really weird. But so yeah, that was a weird part with Sony doing all that. But then someone got a hold of, I don't know how, the book of, they always do like the art, like the making of books, and it's, I forgot what they call it, like it's always like behind the scenes stuff. Well, anyways, they end up getting like images from the book, and this is clearly Green Hulk, and they're showing different versions of like the hair kind of looking tangly, some with the shaved head. I don't know how that would work with Ruffalo, if he would have like a shaved head and work. I don't know if I like that, but people were like, okay, this has got to be fake, maybe it's fake, and then everyone started going like it's real, and it looks pretty real from the pictures. These are close-ups, but from the pictures it looks like someone holding it and going through it, and everybody's like, hey, my guy, go to the page of Jean Grey, we need to know. And supposedly the guy didn't answer, whoever they got this from, but people were saying, people that know, that people that got to see or got their hands on this book that's supposed to come out after the movie, there's no section with Jean Grey, and I think they did it on purpose just in case the book came out right when it was coming out to make some money for people to buy it. And I think they were worried about, while it's out, they didn't want people to get spoiled with Jean Grey. But again, there's a lot of different things going on here, so I'm trying to figure it out, right? And this is a cool scene that someone showed of concept art. Again, concept art doesn't get used all the time. We have to remember that too. There's a lot of times I've been doing things about Secret Wars a lot, and I've been using a lot of their concept art that's leading me hints to like the Young Avengers Champions, whatever that is. But does it mean it's all going to happen? I don't know, but I always know for a fact those people are probably going to all be in that movie. So with this, we know already Punisher, Spider-Man, and Hulk are going to be in the movie. But my thing is Punisher going to be fighting with Hulk and Spider-Man in the movie? That would be cool to see, because we probably will never get to see Punisher fight Hulk again, or being a thing. Right? When would they ever be around each other again? Punisher's not going to be anywhere near Doomsday or anything like that. So I don't know. But I like that image. It was a really cool image. So I'll go with the gray one. So the toys, I seen the toys got promoted. They promote those way ahead of time. The problem is with like Lego, Lego make totally different versions of what the story is and what they're like. Like they did Iron Man 3, and it's called Mandarin's like Final Assault or something like that. It was interesting, but it was like him in like a big tank, and Iron Man was fighting back when you build it and all this and that. Nothing happened in the movie. And people always think, oh, we're getting these spoilers from Legos, but if you look, there's a bunch of Legos that have coming out for numerous movies, but mainly Marvel, that they have things going on that are not in the movie. They usually have the characters. So sometimes there's people that see a character and like, oh, this person must be in it. And most of the time it's pretty accurate. I think 100% is accurate that if you see a character in the Lego set, that they're going to be in the movie as well. But the scenario that they're putting out there doesn't mean we're going to get that scenario. So with action figures, it's a little different. Action figures, this is what they show to companies and try to get them to buy them. How many they want to order, all that good stuff. Walmart and Targets are going to do the same amount they normally do. I don't get the whole idea of fishing them around, but it's mainly for, I guess, more of smaller companies, like people that buy through Entertainment Earth, or I don't know. There's a couple other places I was able to buy from when I was just a regular store, but bigger stores than where I was, like, that would like to stock these up in their stores. So they kind of get to look at the images and get the idea if they do get them, is worth selling or not. So no toys are gray. That's what I thought. Like, if he was gray, would that mean anything toys wise? They would have to release them early, just like in a lot of toy releases. They've messed up and they've showed what people look like. That's when we got our first look of MODOK, and they didn't keep the mask on the whole time. If they kept MODOK's mask on the whole time, he would look cool, okay? MODOK would look cool, all right? I don't need to see Homeboy's face, even though I didn't like that movie, but MODOK looked really cool with his mask on. That's how we first got the looks of MODOK. So this is a sign that I am more thinking that we may stay green. Again, but the Gray Hulk, there is images of him kind of green over here in a contrast to gray on the other side, and they have different colors of him ripping out of stuff, and one suit looks like the Avengers suit. I don't know how much it's capturing on my screen right now, but it's the far right corner, so I don't know how much it catches it, but it looks like he's in the Avengers type uniform ripping out of it. But all these are green images besides the high left corner one, which again, I don't know if you guys can see it because I have it just popped up a certain way. But there's ways for you guys to go look at this. They're going to be all over the internet because people are sharing them everywhere. And then this is weird too. They show Ramrod. He's a really dumb character. There's images of him in it, which is weird. He's a lame villain. You could kind of see the comic a little bit. He's like ramming into the wall. It's a very, I would say it's a famous cover because everyone knows what that cover looks like. But I'm guessing he's gonna be one of the villains that he fights in a montage where we see Tarantula and we see Boomerang. But yeah, so I don't know, but this, like, these images look really good right here with Ruffalo turning into Grey Hulk. He looks like, I'll say this. I don't like his face in the biggest picture. It looks like how they draw him, the Grey Hulk. Because he's more Frankenstein looking sometimes when he's the Grey Hulk, but I'd rather him still look like the Green Hulk that we see in the trailers, but gray. That would be my only thing. But my thing is there a reason if they made him gray? If he's gray, is it because they want him to be able to talk a little bit more? Is he going to be less, monster-ish or whatever? Is there a reason why there's been hints of green or gray? Even in the picture, it looks like there's like hints of green in his veins and stuff. I don't know. And again, the only thing that makes me speculate on it is mainly these concept arts are a good speculation. But before that was the whole GIF being showed by Sony and Sony yanking it down. You think they would just left it up as soon as everyone started saying, hey, he's gray in this trailer. And it was easy to see because everyone shared it afterwards that he was gray. He was gray in the trailer when the building is crumbling and him and Spider-Man are falling. But again, for them to use a gray Hulk, I think there would have to be some kind of like meaning behind it, and like a lot of people don't understand like when he's the Gray Hulk, he's like this or he's like that. So I think Marvel would just make it he's gray when he's mind controlled or whatever. But again, Scarlet Witch would have done that, or you want to call her, I would just call her Wanda. But when she brain controlled him, mind controlled him, he was not gray. And there were scenes that if you looked at it, he did look a different hue. It did look different. And in the trailer, everybody thought he was gray in that, and they're like, oh, Wanda must take control of him or whatever. And that's what kind of everyone put together. Is he supposed to be somewhat controllable when he's gray? I guess I don't know. And the whole thing is what all we've seen in the trailers, if they're gonna change it to gray, to like Marvel does that tricky thing where they switch things up. If they do that, what would it mean for him to be gray? Like, he still seems savage in all the trailers. He does the Hulk clap. He's breaking things. He's he's being Hulk. He's being like what everyone wants the Hulk of what was that, 2012 Avengers? That's what everybody is really hoping they get to see it. And I think we're gonna get it too, regardless of what color it is. But maybe Marvel didn't abandon the gray option, and it's still there, or this was an idea they had, and that's why it's in the concept art page, or the book about the art of the movie. Maybe that's why that it's still there, that it was an idea, and maybe this is what we're seeing, or just ideas, because all these concept arts, there's a lot of things that get cut out. There's a lot of things that like, for example, like Ramrod, they show him, but they may not even have him in the movie. If the scene's too long or he doesn't fit, they'll cut him out. He's not a big part of it. And then as far as Gray Hulk's a little different because that's just changing the whole color. But they might have in the beginning said like, hey, we want to bring Hulk back and we want him to be a little more different for people. And my problem is I feel like they're using the Grey Hulk in the wrong movie, basically. But I think they already went too far back because they already did. They didn't do Professor Hulk. They did Smart Hulk. That's what we call him now because he's nothing like Professor Hulk. Again, I would recommend you guys look up Professor Hulk and read up on how he is and what he's like. He's very cool looking. He's very big, bigger than how he looks in Infinity War and Endgame, but has a cool vibe. I like him a lot. He has a cool vibe. He's just interesting. He was really interesting as Professor Hulk. But I don't know why he had glasses on a lot. And I don't like, did his eyes get bad when he turned to Professor Hulk? But it clearly shows they're exploring ideas. Either way, it shows that even though if we might not get it, they were thinking of ideas. Like I said, this one kind of has a green hue with a grayish hue on it. The hair, these are things that they're trying out. These are things that they're not sure about. And they're just having artists go at it, or whoever's doing it. It's usually artists, but sometimes these could be put into computers and digitally altered and stuff like that. But this scene looks so cool. I hope we get Punisher in the middle of a Hulk Spider-Man fight. That'd be so cool. This almost looks like the visual of when the house, when the building starts breaking down. But who knows? It looks like an elevator shaft or something like that. But again, these are just sometimes ideas, or even they just want to see how they look like in contrast with the color and the art. I don't know if we're gonna see Punisher fight him. And again, I say again because I don't know how many times I mentioned it or not. We're not gonna get to see Punisher and Hulk probably interact in ever again, or never. Well, that's basically it. Never again or ever. There's some chance somewhere down the line. I don't see it. I don't see any way they'd cross paths. Only in a movie where they get to come together. And Hulk's already hard enough because of Universal. We only can bring him in for a little bit. And people complain why they do Hulk Turkey, why they do this, because we have to make him fit the narrative. Everything he comes into, he has to come and make that story work, and he has to be different in that movie or be a certain way in that movie, because unfortunately he has to be part of the narrative. They can't keep him the same character-like person in each movie when he comes in, because he'll just be a rampaging monster each time. So they have to kind of change him up when they do use him. But again, that's kind of Universal's pain in the ass that they won't let him go because they still get money off him. And if they do a full movie, they get a ton of money off him. But yeah, so I would just like it to be separated. If he does become Grey Hulk, I would like it to be something different, not so much. I think they ruined it with Smart Hulk. I think Smart Hulk should have been gray. That would have worked. People could have complained there, but they already complained about Smart Hulk, so it would have worked. It would have been fine. We got to see the color. Comic fans could be like, fine, we got to see it. We're happy, and we move on, and we go back to Green Hulk. But I don't know. He still may show up gray. There's a chance Sony could have released something that was on accident, that he was gray, or it's just really weird that they took it down so fast. That's the biggest indicator that made me think he could be gray. But I mean, ultimately they could have just messed up or thought about doing gray. But again, I think it's all done right now. I don't think they'd go into post and start changing his color to green. I don't know how much work that takes either. I don't work behind the scenes or anything like that, of course. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this all shows that they were trying things, at least in the art, and it's clear as day that they tried out the Grey Hulk. They tried it out. I mean, that's Grey Hulk. I don't see too much green there. So clearly they had that in mind. But again, I don't know if it was going to be a thing of him being mind controlled. Somehow he has to lose that thing on his arm that lets him not Hulk out that he showed in She-Hulk, and then we saw in the end of Shang-Chi, he had it on him while Bruce Banner was talking, and we see it in the trailer while Bruce is talking to Spider-Man. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I think everybody's confused right now, but at least it's not something crazy to be confused about. It's just a color of a character. I just think it goes a little deeper sometimes with comic book fans, because with the gray one, he comes out at night sometimes and he turns gray, and of course that's not going to be the case here. But when he's gray, it's usually Mr. Fix-It, and he's a little bit smarter, and then he's not stronger. Are they going to do that, or it's only going to be when he's mind controlled? But again, it would have happened with Wanda then. So that would have been an interesting take to make it when he gets mind controlled. Maybe he's not as strong, and since he's under mind control, he could like listen better or something. That'd make more sense if they went that route. But I just want there to be a reason, not just him turning to Grey Hulk for Grey Hulk sense. For the sense of just turning Grey Hulk. I want there to be a reason behind him turning into Grey Hulk. So we'll see. We'll have to see and wait. We only got a few weeks left. We'll be able to see that. I don't know if they're gonna do testing for press and all that with the embargo, where they can't say anything. But someone always messes up and slips something out. So I'm sure we'll learn and find out. But I honestly like the idea of Grey Hulk, but I want it to be done right. I want it to be just represented right. And I think just him being a Savage Hulk Grey, it's not the way to go. They already missed their chances, I believe, doing a Grey Hulk the right way, to make him fit in the MCU, because we're never going to get Joe Fixit. Joe Fixit, people will riot. They will. People that don't know Hulk would be very upset to get Joe Fixit, even though there are times he's really cool, but people don't want that Hulk. People want the Savage Hulk. So we'll see. But anyways, like, subscribe, share, check it out. Thank you guys. Bye.